Are you putting us all on the screen at the same time? Because the last time.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Are you putting us all at once? Because when we're all either we're all gonna be there at once, or is it when we talk we're gonna all come on screen?
Yeah.
Okay, we are live though. Okay, we'll just give it a few seconds. We are live, we are live, we are live. Another episode. Welcome and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Show, where we have open conversations with the youth about mental health. I am your host, Katinda Ndola. They call me the Empowerment Queen and the author of the Big Comeback book. In today's show, we are so blessed to be in the presence of two fabulous panelists. And our first panelist is Edith Wanyonyi. Edith is a counseling psychologist, and also she is an ambassador of the Global Youth Mental Health Awareness. She's been with us since the first show. Welcome, hello, and welcome to the show, Edith.
Thank you so much, Katinda.
Our second panelist is Deepshika Tripathi. Deepshika is a counselor, life coach, a founder at the Pravas Trust, and project director at the Poon Petham. She's also here on the show for the second time. Hello and welcome to the show, Deepshika.
Hello, our empowerment queen.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Okay. Now, in our conversation today, we will be educating and sharing some insights on anger management, which is a very good topic because I think a lot of people don't really know how to manage their anger, really. And what I'm going to do is define what's anger before we dive into it. So, what is the definition of anger? I believe it's a strong feeling of being upset or annoyed because of something wrong or bad. Sometimes it's the feeling that makes someone want to hurt other people, shout at other people, revenge, resent, whatever. And it's a feeling of being angry. So it's anger. So how you guys can both dive in. So what are your thoughts about that? Why is aggression sort of this question? There's so many questions. So why is aggression a distorted form of anger? Who wants to go first?
So, okay, I'm starting. Actually, I've been waiting for Edith.
That's okay. Just go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, so we can say that aggression is quite anger in terms of because they are kind of unhealthy feeling which derives from hurting people or shouting at them, yelling at them, and even physically hurt them, which is not, acceptable in a civilized society. So we can say that that's basically distorted form. But anger is not something unhealthy. It's basically natural and healthy response. The thing is that how we respond to our, that kind of situation which arouses anger within us. That's the thing.
Right.
That's
Edith,
needed. Yeah.
Edith, do you have anything to add on to that?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Katinda. What I'd say about aggression is that, like Deep has said, it's a distorted form of anger. Like, it's a reaction to it towards an angry feeling, but it's negative. The reason why it's negative is because it can lead to it can be fatal because people react outwardly, and it may end up maybe hitting someone or throwing things at someone. So it can end up hurting someone. So that's why I think it's a distorted form of anger. Yeah.
Right. And how does anger affect mental and physical health?
Yeah. So whenever we are angry, okay, if we just, just get on observing those patterns, so that suddenly increases our breathing rate, and then blood pressure goes high. Sometimes people also feel headache, when they are extremely younger. Okay. And then palpitations and lots of such responses. Okay. Which is quite, that's physical response. And when it comes to emotional, so they feel lack of control over their emotions. Okay. And this is such a response which never involves only single person. At least it involves two persons. So at least two persons are going to be affected with this. So this is something that must be dealt in very tactful manner, we can say that rational manner. So
Right,
that,
right.
yeah,
Edith,
so
what do
that,
you want?
Just to add on what Deep is saying, the physical consequences or health consequences of anger could result to maybe headaches. People are not, they cannot be able to concentrate well. Maybe stomach pains because of the emotions and the chemicals that arise as a result of anger. Then anger in mental health can lead to anxiety issues, and it can even lead to depression because someone is not able to concentrate and you just want to express these feelings. Yeah.
So we know that there's so many causes of why people get angry, like you've just mentioned. And some of the common triggers for anger are such as losing your patience. People lose their patience, feeling as if your opinion or efforts are not appreciated. And a lot of times also injustice. So what are the leading factors that cause that are responsible for anger apart from just what I've mentioned? What are other things that lead to people getting angry?
Okay.
yeah, basically, okay, Adit, you continue.
Okay, we have a person's environment. So a person's environment can trigger anger depending on what is going on. So maybe we have they may be stressed because of a situation or financial problems. Maybe they are being abused at the place where they are. Then uh, maybe the poor social and family situations can also lead to anger. And maybe when they are overwhelmed, maybe let's say at a job space, when they are too much overwhelmed, that can also lead to anger. Yeah, thank you.
Right, right, right. Well, there's also here I see or I know sometimes some causes of anger also include memories of traumatic or enraging events, like you're saying before, and sometimes also worrying about personal problems. I think that can also lead to anger and trigger, because then if somebody is talking to you and they become your trigger for some reason, you're already triggered and they talking to you and you decide to get angry at them as a way of expressing your anger. Deep, what are your thoughts? What are some leading factors that are responsible for people getting angry?
Yeah, basically, if someone is already frustrated due to some or other reason, and in the meantime, someone comes and, pinch that person. So that definitely plays at a strong trigger. Okay. So anger gets triggered and people burst out badly on that person who
Right,
is
right.
right in front of them. Yeah. So,
Yes.
and there are lots of other reasons like people might be due to insecurity also plays a very important role in that. Like sometimes people feel insecure and then there are frustrations, jealousies, lots of things which just plays as anger. And most important, when people feel ki there's something that is not according to them, okay, the way they want the things are not in that manner, then they react aggressively. That's their
Right.
response to their unwanted environment or situation.
And how, right, what you're still there. So what about, how does anger affect relationships? We know a lot of relationships break down because of those kind of um, traits or character traits of people. So what are some things that you think affect a relationship because of anger? If people are angry, how does it affect relationships?
Yeah, as I have mentioned earlier, it always involves at least two persons. That definitely means it involves relations. And if I'm hurting someone, I'm yelling at someone, then definitely there are chances that they are not going to talk with us in sweeter manner. Okay, they will definitely react if we are going to hurt them either in verbal way or non-verbal way. Okay, with our reactions, actions, or whatever things are there. And that is something which impacts relationships, we can say, negatively. At that very point, it becomes very important that one needs to take care of their that very particular emotion and the way they should express that. That must be graceful, we can say that that must be rational. Okay, and that must not hurt anyone. It's okay, you can express your anger, but the way must be rational, not irrational, so that that's not going to impact anyone's relationship in negative manner. That will even give you as well the other person a better understanding of your relationships as well yourself. That's from
Right,
my end.
right. Edith, how does anger affect relationships?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Deep is saying. You see, when you're angry, it depends on how you express it. So you can either express it passively, aggressively, or assertively. So if your response is aggressive or passive, it will definitely affect the relationship negatively. In a case that people in the relationship may become fearful, and it creates also tension because one does not know how to what to expect, and also there is so much distance and resentment depending on how a person expresses their anger. And then it also you can also it can also lead to outbursts and just negative responses. Yeah, so
So,
it's very important to be self-aware and just know how to express your anger positively. Yeah.
right, Edith, you just mentioned about the different types of anger. You were talking about passive, aggressive, and everything. Can you explain a little bit what that means? Because sometimes people don't understand what that is. They know it's anger, but what is it?
So we have, like I've said, we have three types of anger. So we have passive, aggressive, and assertive. So in passive aggression, it's where a person will not want to express their emotions like directly. So they will repress their feelings, but that does not mean that they will not express it. What they do is that they will express it, maybe they will displace the emotions to another person. So for example, like if I can give an example, when I was in primary school, I remember our maths teacher, I think she had some issues with anger. So she would come in class and I think she would displace the anger to us as students. So right now is when I recall such things, I think she was not able to deal with her anger. So she would come and displace it to the wrong person. So that's what passive aggression is all about. Then aggressive anger is when an individual expresses it outwardly. So maybe they will yell and they will yell and shout or scream, throw things. They can even hit someone. So that's a negative form of anger, aggressive anger. Then we have assertive anger. So this is a type of anger that is communicated calmly. So the two parties come together and they try to solve their issues in a calm manner. So there will not be yelling, there will not be resentment or any negative feelings. So sorry, sorry.
Sorry,
Uh,
something just happened there.
okay, so the goal of assertive anger is actually mediation. So people want to go, the self-esteem of people is not damaged at all. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now if you've just joined us, we're talking about anger management. So please click share, comment, and invite your friends to watch and ask questions because we're here to have conversations that are going to empower and inspire the young people. And just because we've got a video that gives us a bit of information about a lot of things about us. So I'll just play the video. Give me one moment. Let me share the screen. Okay. Hopefully I get this right this time. Oh boy, I'm trying to see how to share the screen. Advanced music, camera. Don't seem to be seeing that video.
Let's begin questions till then.
Sorry?
Let's begin questions till then. You can try on, just keep on trying. Okay?
Yeah, so the next
Okay.
question, I'll just bring that up. Can you hear me as an echo? What are you hearing?
No, it's
You're
clear.
okay.
Okay, because I feel like I'm hearing an echo on my side. So while I'm trying to get that video to play, what are some healthy coping strategies to deal with anger issues?
So first of all, there's a technique, okay? That's called PRA. And we can say that pause, reflect, and act, okay? Like whenever we feel angry and that very emotion is at peak, one can just wait, pause. That's something wonderful. And once you take that pause and try to reflect, oh, is it logical? Is it rational? The way I just want to behave, is it okay? Is it going to harm me or benefit me? Just calculating those pros and cons will definitely just turn your emotions, okay? And one can just think rationally. And then definitely, if one has started thinking in rational manner, then they are not going to behave idiotically, isn't it?
That's
So
true. Very true.
yeah. So here the magic is in pause, just that pause. Don't act in rage whenever you are in anger. I know that it's really very easy to say such kind of statements, but once you keep practicing, it's going to just, beautify your life and make your relationships even blooming and your life blissful. So just pause whenever any such emotions come and then try reflecting that how logical is that to act in that manner and whether it's going to harm you more or benefit you more. And after that, act. Then I'm damn sure after calculating all those aspects, no one can behave in a race. They can just know, they are well aware of that it's going to harm. Of course, there are certain situations where anger is even needed. I won't say it's always bad, it's always harmful. Sometimes situations are there where anger is much needed. As you are already empowering queen, you have a better idea when it comes to racial discrimination, feminism, and all such issues. Okay, their anger is much needed and it's going to benefit. Okay, that's healthy. When it comes to harm us, like if we are sitting with our loved ones and then we are just argumenting on some topic and then one girl gets just outburst, then it's not going to benefit any one of them. Okay, it's going to just give damage to their relationship. There it needs to be taken care of, so that pause and reflection must be taken into account. Then no one going to act in that awful manner and damage their relationships or mental health or physical health. So that's my take, that pause, reflect, and act. That's the very basic tip. And then if I can go ahead, then
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, sure. There are some techniques like, yeah, just deep breathing. Because once you start deep breathing, doesn't matter how much angry are you, and if even it at peak, deep breathing immediately changes your internal environment. Hope you are getting me, internal environment. And after that, if your internal environment has been changed, definitely that's going to impact the way you are going to react to your external environment. So deep breathing is very much important. And then few more tips, but till then I would like to know the opinion of Edith on this.
Yes. Let's
Yeah.
get Edith to tell us what she believes in ways to deal
Okay.
with anger.
Okay, thank you very much. What I think is if you're feeling so out of control, it's very important to just walk away from the situation because you don't know how you may react. So it's very important to just walk away until you're able to cool down. Then try to pinpoint the exact reason as to why you're angry. Then once you have identified the problem, you can now come and sit down and try to consider or consider coming up with different strategies that will help you express the anger. And then you can also consider talking to someone about how you're feeling. Yeah, then maybe some of the techniques, you can get some exercise just to release the tension and the anger you may be feeling. Then you can speak out. Then just think before you speak. Yeah, that's very important.
Okay, so here we've got the next question is about how does cultural context and family rules affect ways of expressing anger? Edith, you're already on the seat.
Okay. So what I'll say about culture is that culture influences almost all of our emotions, be it anger, any emotion. It's influenced by culture because when you're born and you get into this family, you find them with their own culture and how they express their emotions. So your anger will be influenced by the culture that you're coming from. So, for example, you will learn from your parents or from the people around how to express your anger. If people are expressing it aggressively, that's how you will learn, and that's how you'll be expressing your anger. So, let's say you have a caregiver who maybe ridicules you or they punishes you when you want to express your anger. You'll pick from that, and so you will either be repressing your emotions, or you will either be aggressive, or you will be assertive, depending on how you are raised. Yeah, so culture has a very great impact on how we express our anger.
Yeah, what about Deep? What do you think?
Yeah, family is something very important, and our culture is deep rooted within us. It's going to just impact each and every way, the way we are going to react in a certain situation. Anger is not even remain untouched with that. Suppose if in any family, physical violence is common during anger, and that's acceptable, then the kid of that family going to just set that mindset, oh, it's okay. If I'm angry, I can physically hurt anyone. It's not bad at all. They will just develop this mindset, and they will going to live just their whole life with this mindset only because that's deep rooted. So culture and family impacts that I can say to the deepest level, the way one responds or reacts, that really impacts. So, and suppose if in any family there's very civilized culture, people used to sit calmly, no one talks in high volume, okay? There's no culture of yelling at anyone, even if they are angry. Yeah, that's there's possibility they may avoid talking with the person whom they are angry. So they will follow that set of behavior, okay? which they have just seen and learned from their family. So in this way, we can say, yeah, family really impacts. And in the same way, our culture, since in certain cultures there are, yeah, violence is very common, and that's
Yes.
acceptable too. So the people who belong to that culture and those who lack exposure, that is also a thing. How much exposure they are having, culture and family is fine. Along with that, a person's individual personality as well their exposure also matters. So I can say that it varies from person to person. But yeah, of course, this is a fact that family as well culture both impacts us at the deepest level.
Yeah, I believe that very strongly because they say, when you're growing up as a child, it's what you copy, what you see. They say, an apple does not fall far from the tree. So obviously, if you grow up in a culture where everybody yells and screams and fights, you think as a child that is normal. So you grow up thinking this is how you do it until you grow up and you find this is actually not right. So it's a learned behavior, but I think people can also unlearn it. Just because you've grown up in a place like that and then you like that as well doesn't mean it's right, because you'll just impact your life in very negative ways. So moving forward, what is the importance of assertiveness in dealing with anger? Who wants to go?
So is it me or Edith?
You can go first. You're on the hot seat.
Okay. Okay. So assertiveness, we can say, is our rational way of acting. Okay. It doesn't mean to hurt anyone. Fine. But it's something which emphasizes on standing strong with your own set of beliefs. Hope I'm very clear with this term, assertiveness. It's something which emphasizes on standing strong with your own belief or set of beliefs and acting accordingly. So, this is assertiveness. And when it comes to anger, like if we are migrating to some other culture, fine. And at there, it's very common. The people are just violent, and that's acceptable too. Even in that case, if we are assertive, then those set of those patterns of behavior not going to impact us, since our set of beliefs are strong enough and we are going to act in that manner and follow them strongly. It's something like a standing firm, be firm with your beliefs. So if one has that clarity and they are firm on what they believe, they think, and uh, just in the way they are going to act. So assertiveness acts a very significant role in dealing with anger. And
Right,
that's
right.
something very positive. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Deepshika. So what about Edith? What do you think? What's the importance of assertiveness in dealing with anger? And I'm looking at it this way, maybe talk about if I was in a relationship, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, and normally the woman is the weaker sex. So she's the one who's has to learn, like the other person is angry. What do you do in that situation? Because if the male is more dominating and he's the angry one and you're the woman here, or it could also be vice versa, the woman could be the dominating and the man is not. So if the person who's dominating is the angry one, how does the other person diffuse that? What can
Okay,
they do?
this is what I think about assertiveness. Like it's a positive way of expressing your anger. So it's a straightforward and very calm, straightforward and measured way of expressing the anger. So if it's the wife and they want to express their anger to the husband, like you've said, they should remain calm and very straightforward and very respectful also. But that does not mean that they give in to maybe what the husband is saying, but just remaining calm and ensuring that even as they try to mediate their issue or the issue that they're having, it's important that they allow, that they do not impose what they are feeling, or they do not impose their feelings to their husband. So they allow the other party to also speak out. Then they can speak so that they can come up with a solution. And then everyone will walk away with their self-esteem intact. So nobody will be hurt in the process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one because sometimes when people are very angry, it just people forget the basics of what is the best way to dissolve or to just diffuse the situation. So how can one express anger? I know, Edith, you've talked a little bit about that, but how can one express anger in a healthy manner? Is that even possible? I mean, if you're angry, you're angry. How do you do it in a healthy way?
Wow, I don't think it's not easy, because anger is an instant emotion.
Yes.
So just being like following like the steps we've said, it's not an easy thing. So it's very important to be aware of yourself. By awareness, you're able to know, this is me, this is how I react to anger. So before you get there, you already know how you react to your anger. So it's important to be self-aware. And yeah, that's what I'll say.
So because here I see that I was actually doing a research and it said one on 2010 studies found that being able to express your anger in a healthy way can even make you less likely to develop heart disease. And I thought, wow, that's so good. And they were talking about different ways you could do it. It's things you've already mentioned. They're talking about take deep breaths. Like if you find yourself about to get angry, just take deep breaths, because that maybe it slows you down, changes the dynamic of how you're feeling. Recite maybe a comforting mantra, something that soothes you, makes you think, oh, I don't need to do this. I don't have to react or get upset. Let me just soothe myself. There's also the idea of try visualization, like try to visualize probably things that make you happy as opposed to things that are making you angry. And there's also about mindfully moving your body. I would probably think, take a walk, do some exercise, run, just do something that releases that energy that you're holding on, which is so toxic. And there's also, I guess, trying to express your frustration. How do you do that? I mean, you have to do it in a healthy way without making other people uncomfortable, making people walk away from you because they just don't like your mood and everything. And there's also maybe the other person can diffuse the anger with humor, like come up with a joke. I know maybe it depends with the situation. It can be a bad joke too. So it can even trigger more anger. And also maybe change your surroundings, because, people are not trees. They can move. They're not stuck there. That's just one thing I would imagine would be another way to go about it. Deep, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that? How can one express anger in a healthy way, in a healthy manner?
It's just about, pause. If you pause, like I'm feeling like bang on something.
Hit the
Okay,
wall.
you can feel that. You can feel that. And your imagination, you can do that too. That's a better idea. Whatever you feel, you can do that in your imagination. Okay. But on practical grounds, just take that pause and in your imagination, do that, so that at least in some way, those tensed hormones may release. Okay. So that you can relax and slowly get calmed down after releasing those tension hormones, even in your imagination. Like we can say, sometimes some situations are universal on which anyone can get angry. But there are certain situations which are just, imaginary, or there must be some confusion due to which we get angry. And when we realize, we just, think that, oh, it's so stupid. I was getting angry on this. how could I be so stupid? So it's better to take that pause, and whatever you like, doesn't matter. Even if you want to hit someone, do that in your imagination, so that you're not going to hurt anyone in practical manner. Okay, although you have done that already in your imagination, so that will help you releasing your tension hormones.
Thank you.
Hope
Thank you.
it's not that comedy, but yeah, it's really acts. It really affects. It really cool downs a person. And most
Right.
important, yeah, it's not possible if we are feeling angry, we can't sing a song, and even we can't start immediately taking deep breaths. But one thing we can do, we can pause. That's quite possible. Yeah, of course, practice is needed for that. And as Edith has mentioned, yeah, for that, to a very time being, it's possible to just escape from that situation
Right,
and
right.
then come back. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Deep. I think we've got the video. Let's play this video. It's just
yeah,
telling
sure.
people about, how they can become part of or take the course and just make sure that they're able to know the tools and skills they can apply in their daily lives, especially in the workplace. So I'll just play this. Let me know. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm here again to bring to you a wonderful testimonial from one of our beneficiaries who have had the opportunity to be part of the online class. Let me ask you this honest question on a count of 1 to 10. How do you deal with mental stress at your work environment? The Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Limited has the answers you seek. Please watch, listen, and be inspired. And did you know with 50% price slash, you too can be part of it? I bet you don't want to miss it.
Everybody, I hope you all are having a wonderful day ahead. Just a quick question. How are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your mental health status at your workplace? Is it a positive environment? Because I really hope it is. I know how it is when you have to work in a very stressful environment, and that is exactly why I took up the Workplace Youth Mental Health online course by Jimha School, and it completely changed my life. It completely changed the perspective through which I see the stress and strains that come with a particular job, and it made me into an individual that thrives phenomenally in a high pressure situation. So a lot of young professionals, they find it difficult to transition into the work culture because they are still not aware of how to tackle the workplace issues regarding high pressure jobs, something that needs your extreme effort and high attention, and sometimes it may result in a burnout syndrome, right? And this course, the Workplace Youth Online Mental Health course, has a lot of phenomenal resources and points and downloadable formats that will give you an idea as to how to be strong and resilient during these times. And I would love for all of you to check this wonderful course out, and I'm sure it won't disappoint you. Also, something that through my research I've experienced is that companies which put in a strong workplace health strategy in place, be it mental health, physical health, and most importantly mental health, because especially during these unprecedented times, people go through a lot, and if they have a strong mental health promotion strategy in their workplace, that's the best way to empowering their employees. For companies also, people who are in senior most levels, if they take up this course, they will know, they'll have their perspective on, okay, these are the issues that a young individual might face, and these are the solutions that I can easily implement to empower or make him feel better. So I'm sure you all will love this course, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you again, Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Limited, for such a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, what are you waiting for? You can log on www.globalyouthmentalhealthawareness.org to grab this wonderful benefits. I will do just that.
Okay. So we're back on again. So if you've just joined us, we've been talking about anger management, and we have Deep and we have Edith all talking about the different ways you can actually manage your anger. So we still have another one question before we go, because we've got another 4 or 5 minutes. So what are some things you think people watching this show today, what can they start doing to analyze themselves, especially if they know they have anger management, they have anger issues?
Okay.
First of all, yeah, Edith, carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. What
Please.
I'll say is people need to be aware of themselves. So by awareness, you exactly know how how you react to anger. So you can start from there. So, and then you can also, like you said, we can also unlearn the irrational ways of dealing with anger. So if you were brought up in a family where the expression of anger was negative, it is still possible to unlearn that and practice an assertive way of expressing your anger. Then talk to someone, yeah, which is very important. So if you have a trouble managing your anger, we have counselors, we have psychologists, therapists. So just find, or even a friend, just find someone that you can talk to. And also, don't repress your anger, express it, and express it in a positive manner. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. What about Deep? What is something people can probably start doing today? Or even right now, they're watching this and they're going, oh, I'm this person, I have anger problems. I've tried deep breathing, I've tried walking away, but I just don't know. I'm not really getting there. What is it they need to do?
I would recommend them then a guided meditation, since that really rewires your brain and that helps changing your thought processes. So that really impacts the manner we act or react to a certain situation. And most important, certain very basic tips. Yeah, do exercise physically to keep your body and mind in fit. Okay. And then you can use calm music, like certain musics are there which can calm down our nerves. That also acts well. And then one must take care of their diet. And then there must be awareness if at any point they feel that professional help is required, then they must approach for that. Like there's uh, one disorder called IBD, that's intermittent behavior disorder. When there are recurrent patterns of anger that must be addressed by some professional, that's very important. So definitely awareness as well self awareness are very important. Then few basic self-help techniques are there, like pause, reflect, and act, then exercise, meditation, music, whatever music you like. Music always going to soothe one mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
if
I think,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
soothing music. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then most important thing, take care of yourself. You are important. Your life is important. And you need to take care of that. God has blessed us with this life. All of us need to take care of us in this life as well. Just add our bit of goodness in this world and make a better place to live in. That's from
Thank
my
you.
end. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, I think there's also the other thing where people should admit that they're anxious or angry, because sometimes people don't even know they do these things. And when someone else says, this is what you do, they get more angry because it's the truth. So, the truth hurts so much that a lot of people don't like to get confronted with that information. Now, just before we go, so Deep, you're still in the hot seat. What is
Yeah.
something that you do every day to protect and manage your mental health and well-being?
I would say it's meditation, it's yoga, and of course, it's music. I love music. So I
Okay.
used to listen a lot of music in free time, then reading some inspirational books or articles. And then you are, of course, one must use their time constructively. That always protect us from just loading our brain with those garbages. If one is
That's
using their time constructively, then there's no way for getting in such kind of rubbish in our life, possibly. And of
that's
course, there are some biological, genetic, or some medicinal reasons are also there, due to which certain people can face such issues. There are some medicines like that. So in
yeah.
that case, they must approach for professional help. And that's something very important because that's investing in yourself, investing in your life. So never just step back about taking care of yourself, either it's in mental or physical way. So take care
Thank,
of yourself. You're very important. That's it.
thank you. Thank you. Edith, what about you? What is
Okay.
something you do every day to protect your mental health and well-being, to
Okay.
promote your
Okay.
well-being?
Okay, before I answer your question, I'd like to contribute on the previous question you had asked. I'd say that one way of managing your anger is journaling. For example, just write your emotions. If you're the kind of an introvert, it's important that you just write what you're feeling. Yeah, so that you can release the tension and the anger that you may be feeling, and also just identifying the triggers. By identifying the triggers, you're able to evade situations that can lead to anger. Then some of the things that I do to manage my mental health, first, I always say this, that meditation is one thing that works so well for me. Then I always have friends and connections, people who we have the same mindset, and people who always improve me. People I can speak to anytime that I'm not feeling okay. Yeah, so those are some of the tips that I use to manage my mental health. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it seems like we've come to the end of the show. Where can people find you, Edith, if they want to get to know more about what you do and how you can support them? Where can they find you?
People can find me on social media, my Facebook, Instagram. They can find me on YouTube, on LinkedIn. My contact is Edith Wanyonyi. They can also email me at edithwanyonyi3@gmail.com.
Thank you, thank you. What about Deepshikha? Where can people contact you if they wanted to get in touch with you?
Definitely, either they can contact me through Jimha, or they can contact me from from my social media handles like Facebook, and like Insta and LinkedIn.
Yes, what are your social media handles?
Okay, I'll share that with Jimha.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so they can get you from Jima. That's good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
brings us to the end of our conversation, our insightful stories about how to deal with anger management and everything. Thank you, Edith. Thank you, Deepshikha, for sharing your insights on anger management. Thank you, viewers, for being a fabulous audience and for watching the Global Youth Mental Health Awareness Show. Now, for next week, we have an amazing topic coming up. You know, it's a gender-based violence in recognition of the UN 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So please join us next Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Australian time. I think it's 12 p.m. Kenyan time. I'm not sure what time it is in India or yes. So please join us because we're going to be talking about gender-based violence, and it's something that we see is happening a lot to a lot of families, and it's destroying a lot of families, and obviously it's impacting on their mental health as well. So until next time, take care and stay blessed.
Sure, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, let me stop the recording. Oops. And